Greetings, welcome to the channel. I'm Nova of Nova's Insights. If you aren't following me on Instagram, please come check me out. It's Nova's Insights, the same way you see spelled below without the space. So just NOVASINSIGHTZ all together, one word. And if you'd like, come visit the website, www.novasinsights.com. You can learn a little bit more about me, more of the services that I offer, and check out some of the other videos. But you can also do that here on the channel. Okay, so this is a reading for the collective, so for the masses, the hundreds or thousands or however many people who are meant to see this video. So if you would like a personalized reading, a reading specific for you, please feel free to send me a direct message on Instagram or go to my website to book a reading. Again, you'll find all the different types of readings that I offer on the website, and I would be more than glad to read with you. Okay, so I always like to begin. We are here. We are now. We are open to this gift. Okay? If you haven't experienced to pick a pile or pick a card reading with me, here's how it goes. You'll take some time to clear your mind. Just quiet and still yourself. You'll allow your intuition to guide you to the pile that has the message for you. Sometimes people are drawn to 2 or more piles. That's completely okay. You can watch all the readings in this session if you'd like. I will have the timestamps listed down below. Yet, I always recommend trying to really pay attention to the pile that calls to you the strongest. I trust that there will be a message for you in one of these piles. And again, if you want something more specific, just reach out to me and we can book a live Zoom reading. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our message for today is, how can you strengthen the relationship with yourself? And how can you strengthen the relationship with others who are in your life? All right, so go ahead, listen to the pile that's calling to you, and we'll go ahead and get started. Peace. Okay, pile 1. So we're beginning with how we can better the relationship, strengthen the relationship we have with ourselves. Okay, so our first card here is Hedonist. All right, the light attributes inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. So if you haven't today, go ahead and stop and take a deep breath. Take a couple if you haven't. Sometimes those good things, those best things are the simple things in life. And this card is all about really digging into those things that make us feel good. You know, something like a simple breath can make us feel amazing. We don't even realize how sometimes just stopping and smelling the roses, or stopping and having a cup of coffee, or taking a quick jog can make us feel so good. And you deserve to feel good. You deserve to have that joy in your life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have that peace. So really surround yourself with the things that make you feel good. Engage in the things that make you feel good. Indulge in the things that make you feel good. But remember, moderation. Do everything in a healthy way. Okay? Don't go overboard, right? We don't want to dip into those shadow attributes where it says pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. You want to maintain that balance. Always be mindful of the balance in life. Okay? Reciprocity, karma. You know, as things rise, things fall. So things are always going to come back around. So put out the good into yourself, not at others' expense. And if you're the type of person who really enjoys investing in other people, you know, that's a win-win, right? Because if you feel good about doing good for others, then that's beautiful, because it's pleasurable for you and pleasurable for other people, right? So Where's really the harm there, as long as it's done in pure intention and healthy intention and righteousness. Okay. Let's see. Presence. So, the true statement here is, how did this happen for me? Know that you are the star of your life. You are the lead, and the audience is here for you. I love that. So here we have this thought, right? You don't want to ask, why did this happen to me? But you want to ask, how did this happen for me? You know, you really want to be able to change your perspective and the lens on things and see how you can push beyond the victim mentality and see how things are really working out in your favor. Okay? Remember, this is how you're strengthening your relationship with yourself. You deserve to have healthier thoughts. You deserve to have more whole thoughts. You deserve to have a positive outlook on life. That is what you deserve. Okay, so shift your perspective. I'm not saying you have to run around with rose-colored glasses. I'm just saying things could be a little rosier than what they already are. And realize how your mental health plays on your physical health and how it plays on your spiritual health. So really, at the end of the day, it really behooves you to take a more positive outlook on life and really try to spin things and see how they're working in your favor versus against you, or feeling powerless and things are just happening to you. Okay? Things are working for you. The star. And it's funny, we just had you're the star of your life. But this card is really about your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, fulfillment of those things that you really hope for, the things that you're looking to manifest, right? And I really believe this taps into kind of like this hedonist energy as well. Take the time to dream. Take the time to hope. Take the time to set those intentions for all the good things in your life, all the things that bring you pleasure in a healthy way. There's nothing wrong with that. Dream big, dream bigger, right? One of the videos I did months ago, I referenced a quote where it says, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Now, I don't believe you have to be scared or, have a sense of fear, but it's getting to the fact that, you can have more, you can have abundance, right? And it doesn't have to be from a sense of greed. It doesn't have to come from the expense of others. But know that you can manifest. Know that you don't have to live in lack. You don't have to live impoverished, whether that's in thought or whether that's in finance, or whether that's in friendship or intimate relationship. You can have all that you wish for. Set your intention, pay attention, and manifest. Okay? And here's our last card for how to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Ascension. All right. So, yes, let's focus that energy on ascending. And ascending in whatever ways you need to ascend in your life. This hand is really sticking out to me. So, however you can get to work, however you can take action. It's not just sitting around hoping and praying for that pie to fall out of the sky, but it's really you putting in that work, to say, okay, this is the change I want to bring to my life. This is how I want to bring more happiness to my life. This is how I want to take control. This is how I want to steer the ship. And realizing you have that power, realizing that you are limitless. And from that space you can create. And from that space you can ascend. Right? Recognizing your power. You all know that my readings are all about empowerment. So the things that you truly are passionate about, the things that you truly want to manifest, the places in where you find your peace, your joy, your happiness, all that I imagine in a seed that's just waiting to germinate and sprout and grow. And just make sure that you are allowing the sun to shine on it. You are allowing the water to be poured onto it, right? Like, put it out there, plant the seed. Trust in the timing of the universe. right? Sometimes we want to rush through things. We think things need to happen now, or things should have happened yesterday. Things will happen in its own time. Your blessings will come in its own time. Your enlightenment will come in its own time. Okay? But it doesn't mean that you don't work to till the soil. You prepare. You prepare yourself for these blessings to come. You prepare yourself for the ascension to come. You put yourself in a place where you're open to receive these messages. You put yourself in a place where you're doing your meditation, you're drinking your water, you're eating these foods that you need to be eating, fresh foods, you're out there getting sunlight, right? You're ascending in small ways, second by second, minute by minute, day by day. Pour into yourself so that you can pour into others and we can ascend together, okay? So now that leads me into how can we strengthen our relationships with others? All right. So gossip in reverse. So let's make sure we're not gossiping. Whether that's you're tearing people down, the relationships that you already have with people, you're not strengthening them with your words, and or you're engaging in gossip that someone else is doing. You may not be as active in it, but you might have a passive role in it, and that's not good either. So try to avoid that as much as possible. The shadow attribute thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay, remember we talked about that karma, what goes around comes around, that reciprocity. That's, gossip is never something that people usually want to happen to them. They never really want to be on the receiving end of that, whether they're aware of it or not. So always remember to use your words for the positive. Use your words to uplift others. Use your words to speak life to others. Don't forget to speak life to yourself, right? Because a lot of times we can't give to others what we don't have, what we don't already possess. So work on doing that within yourself. Work on speaking pure words to yourself. Work on having pure thoughts, because that's what's going to allow you to sow into other people's lives. That's what's going to allow you to speak words of love and peace into other people's lives if you're doing that for yourself already. Okay? So we're going to be mindful not to engage in gossip when it comes to other people, so we can strengthen the relationships that we have. All right, wisdom. Okay, so I see the bigger picture, where it says, I don't make sense is the trigger statement, but the true statement is, I see the bigger picture. Here we have, you are moving towards a deeper level of understanding, from knowledge to wisdom. Take time to absorb the lessons. So I invite you, whatever situations you're in with people, instead of taking that stance of, this doesn't make sense to me, this is nonsense. You know how they say, listen not to respond, but listen to understand, right? Because that's the same thing that you would want afforded to you. Someone to listen so you can be understood, right? So remember that we are all in this thing called life together, right? And so you are not the only person with an opinion. Your perspective is not the only perspective that exists, right? Because truly, many of us believe that we are all one. We're many different manifestations of one true singularity, right? So even in our differences, we can still vibe, we can still relate, and on a whole nother level, sometimes we can agree to disagree, right? But sometimes we really do need to zoom out and challenge ourselves to see the bigger picture, challenge ourselves to put ourselves in other people's shoes, just to have some empathy and or sympathy, right? Remember that people learn differently, people process differently, people hear differently, sometimes, simple things like I work with college students, and I have to remind them that sometimes people are going through things in their life that they don't always communicate to us, and so they might be processing what we're saying totally different than the way we're giving it, right? Or just something simple as we might be expressing something to someone and they don't respond, and we think that they're ignoring us, but they really could be hearing impaired, and we don't know. But then we cop an attitude and like, oh, they're rude, they're ignoring us, so we pass judgment, but we don't really know what their true situation is. Right? So sometimes we just need to give people the benefit of the doubt. And if we're not sure, it's okay to ask. It's okay to inquire and really try to clear things up, okay? If you do come across people who have a different stance on things, different topics, or just different stance in life in general, sometimes asking them, engaging in conversation is how you can better learn about them and better learn a different perspective in life, right? So here we have wisdom. Sometimes we just need to remember that we don't know it all, and that's wise, okay? Next, we have a tarot card, the Magician in reverse. Now, for some reason, collaboration just came to me, because typically the Magician card is symbolic of you having everything that you need already to do the magic. You have everything you need to do the alchemy. But the way this just came through to me is you don't, and that's okay, right? Definitely believing that we live in community. No man or woman is an island, right? So sometimes we need to put ourselves in certain positions to be in certain conversations with people. Sometimes we need to get out there and we need to network, or sometimes we need to ask for help when we need it, or sometimes we just need to gain another perspective, right? And in gaining another perspective, we can better situate ourselves in the world and get a better idea of what we have to give to the world and or how we can give to the world, okay? So just because this card is in reverse and or you might need other people in your life doesn't mean you can't do magic, right? It doesn't mean that you can't do all the amazing things that you're going to do. It just means that sometimes, in some ways, at certain points, we need to be able to tap and rely on other people, okay? And then lastly, we have here, speak truth. Okay. So, and it's interesting, kind of ties into this gossip card and wisdom, right? So, again, just this idea that let your words be as honest as possible. If you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know. That's wise, right? And if you don't know, it's okay to seek that information from those around you, or read a book, listen to a podcast, find out what it is that you don't know. That's okay. And if you don't know the truth, don't make up something and lie and spread lies about people, right? That's mostly gossip, right? Or using your word in a way that brings harm to other people, spreading information that other people wouldn't want spread, that you know they wouldn't want spread, right? So use your words in service of others in a loving, truthful way, okay? Remember, swords represents in the tarot cards words, thoughts. Your words and thoughts are powerful. They can be sharp. Once you put them out there, you can't take them back, okay? So really be mindful of the spells you can cast on people, right? And when I say spells, I don't mean like, okay, for some people who consider themselves witches, okay, cool. But for those of you who don't consider yourself a witch, just realize there's power in the words that you speak. You know, very simple. Like, think about how maybe you might have been having an okay day or so-so day, and someone gives you a compliment and that turns your whole day around, right? It might not have been their intention to say, like, I'm going to put a spell of happiness on this person. But when they spoke their words, it changed your whole train of thought. It changed your whole mood for the day. It changed where you were psychologically in that moment. So be mindful that you can speak words that really uplift people, that really changes their day, that really pours love into them. Use your words in a positive way, okay? So, again, if you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit me on Instagram. It's Nova's Insights, and or come check out my website, www.novasinsights.com, and I'd be more than willing to facilitate a reading with you. And peace and love. Pile 2. So we'll begin with how to strengthen the relationship with yourself. Avenger. Okay, I've actually never pulled this card in a reading, so this is exciting. So the light attributes desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Okay. The shadow attribute, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. All right. So as the adventure, strengthening the relationship with yourself, really getting the sense here that sometimes we really need to speak up for ourselves. A lot of times, and this used to be me, I would speak up for other people, but I wouldn't speak up for myself, and I had to come to realize over the years that I must speak up for myself in order to make sure that I'm creating the most positive and healthy situation for myself, whether that's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, because in certain ways, we shouldn't be a doormat. We shouldn't let people abuse us, right? Sometimes it's not really a question of what other people do, but a question of what we allow people to do to us, right? Some things are out of our control, but once we realize that there's things that we can control in regards to how people treat us, or how people see us, or how people handle us, then, really trying to speak up for ourselves or advocate for ourselves is really important. And, beyond us, there are always people watching. And what comes to mind are young children, Sometimes we need to stand up for ourselves because we're role models for people. We're role models for the youth, whether we realize it or not. So the way that we love ourselves, the way that we stand up for ourselves, the way we speak up for ourselves teaches children how to do it for themselves as well. And the lack thereof. Okay? So, make sure you're standing up for the righteousness on behalf of yourself, right? Finding that confidence within yourself to say, no, I will not stand for this. Or, yes, I will stand for this because I'm going to bring about this change that I want to bring about in my life because I deserve it. Okay? You're worth it. Next we have reset. Look at that. Okay. So the trigger statement, I am sick. The true statement is I am alive. I like that. Okay, it says here, it is time to embrace a new way of being, one filled with health and the freedom to create a new reality. That's similar to this adventure card. What I was just saying is stand up for yourself. Realize that you can create the life that you want that is healthy for you. Okay? Even I'm thinking about institutionalized, systematic, type of situation. Instead of focusing on how you're sick or you're oppressed or marginalized in certain systems, I think it's important to realize that, but also try to find ways in which you are empowered, and focus on the things that are going to help you push through that and help you to keep pressing on and keep fighting, right? Because you want to focus on I'm alive. Focus on the strength that you do have. Focus on the change you can make, right? Focus on the justice that is achievable in an injustice system, right? In an unjust system. Excuse me. All right. That resetting your mind to shift your perspective on what is working versus what's not working. Focusing on what you can do versus what you can't do, or what you've been told you can't do. You have power as well. Sometimes we don't always have authority, but we have power. And remember, there's strength in numbers. Okay? So sometimes that justice comes about for yourself through teaming up with other people. Realizing there are people with similar identities, similar struggles. You come together and you can fight things head on in numbers. It's definitely not where I saw this going, but that's where this is going. Okay? All right. And look, we have this card with all these people in it. Okay? It's the Judgment card, but in reverse. So, getting the sense that it's not over, right? The story's not over. Judgment is not being cast yet. Kind of like that saying where say, it's not over until the fat lady sings, right? Kind of getting that sense that you still have people on your side. There are people for you to be collaborating with, okay? To bring about the justice that needs to be brought about in your life for you and for other people. But again, this is about strengthening the relationship with yourself. And what just came to me too is, in strengthening this relationship to your with yourself, it might put you in a better position to be able to help strengthen others, to help fight on behalf of others, to help advocate on behalf of others. But you first must learn how to do it for yourself, right? Because you can't give to others what you don't have already. You can't model for others what you don't already have and live in your own life, right? Because you don't want to be a hypocrite, one. And two, sometimes you need to experience things in order to be able to share that with others and say, well, I've lived through this. I've gone through this. I've stood up for myself in this way. It was hard, but I did it. I pressed through. I got it done, right? So this card is giving me a sense that for sure there's some work to do, right? And helping to liberate people before this final judgment comes. Okay. Ancestors. Definitely that vibe of like, you're not alone here, right? So trust and know the ancestors are here assisting you. Also know that you are the ancestors. You know, in African culture in particular, and maybe in other cultures around the world, believe that we are our ancestors reborn. You know, we know that this energy never dies. All the energy that's ever going to be here is here, right? Like, the energy doesn't disappear or go away. It just shifts forms, right? So know that the strength of the ancestors is also yours. And whatever this fight is that you're fighting for yourself and other people, really get a sense that like you have powerful work to do, right? And you have to really find that strength within yourself. And I always say, you know, you stand on the shoulder of giants. So if anything, this message is to really encourage you, because I don't know the work that you have to do or the work that you're already doing, but one, I'll say right now that I'm proud of you, because I'm getting a strong sense that like you are really a warrior. You're really a fighter. You're really standing in the gap for people. And remember to do it for yourself. Okay, and if you've been doing it, continue to do it, because you're going to be blessing so many people. And for those of you who don't know, I like to say bliss instead of bless. So yes, you're going to be blessing so many people, continuing to bless people if you already are, inspiring people, liberating and freeing people, okay? So let's look more specifically of how you can strengthen your relationship with others. So student, we have it in reverse. So let's see what that shadow attribute is. Arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action, okay? And the light attribute is humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. So, in strengthening your relationship with others, being mindful of how you're using knowledge that you receive, okay? And if you're receiving knowledge, don't sit on it. Put it into action. If you're receiving knowledge, share it with others, okay? Knowledge is not meant to be hoarded. Just as you learn from someone else, let someone else learn from you, okay? You don't have to be that sole keeper of information or that sole keeper of knowledge. Don't hoard it. It can bless other people, okay? So if you're in a situation or a place of power and or authority in which you can share information and knowledge that you have, I ask you to please go ahead and share that, okay? And we're talking, it could be something as simple as how to fix something in a car or like a recipe, right? It's like, it's energy. So in ways that you might be hoarding information or knowledge in something as simple as a a recipe of how to bake a pie because you don't want anybody else to get glory and recognition for a bomb pie that tastes so good, that same kind of energy can trickle over to other parts of your life in greater ways. So in any little way that you recognize energy that's not positive and or that's restricted or comes from a place of like, again, hoarding or trying to hold on to something in an unhealthy way, thinking that something is going to be stolen from you or taken from you or someone's going to have more information than you, that's ego, and it's not ego in a good way. So work on letting that go, okay? Next we have resonance. So the trigger statement is, I am right. The true statement is, I'm open to the unknown. Okay? So it says here, you are being shown what is dissonant in your life. Allow the beliefs that are not serving you to fall away and be open to your bright future. So the true statement again is, I am open to the unknown. In strengthening your relationship with others, realize that other people also have information, kind of tying into here. Other people have information that you might need, okay? People have answers. It's okay. It's okay to trust other people and their information. It's okay to know that you don't have all the answers. You don't know it all. That's all right. You don't have to know it all, okay? You're not here alone in this world by yourself. We live in community, okay? I said this in the last pile. No man or woman is an island. You can learn something from almost any and everybody that you cross paths with, okay? If people bring information to you that is contrary to what you believe and or know, sit with it. Challenge yourself. See how you can grow. Challenge yourself to see how you can shift perspective if needed. If not, then okay. Or if you examine it and you're willing to juggle with it and you find out that you still want to hold on to your beliefs and your knowledge, that is completely fine. But sometimes we just need to open ourselves up to be willing to see how we resonate with others. And if we're finding that we don't, really examining what's at the root of that and if we're in our own way. Okay. Sometimes people have blessings for us that we don't know, we don't realize, and when we're closed off, we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to engage in those conversations that need to be had, or we don't allow ourselves to engage in those conversations that bring us the knowledge that we need. All right. So here, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. So again, I'm thinking about engaging with other people, getting resources, getting knowledge, right? Queen of Pentacles, sometimes the pentacles can represent education. And so really that's what I'm getting here, even with this student card, right? Being in a position where you go in a humble way, knowing that you don't know everything, going in a way that you're able to receive, right? The Queen is a feminine energy. It's the energy of receptivity, right? We got to have that balance, okay? And even thinking about this ladder, this got to be balanced on a solid foundation, because if not, it will tip over, it will slip, right? So have that balance between logic and knowing, and sensing and feeling and believing, right? You have a balance between those different types of being in the world, right? Know that some things will come through books. Some information will come through books. Some information will come through what you feel. Okay? But it's all knowledge. And it's all valid. Trust. Trust what you feel. Trust what you sense. Trust your intuition. Okay? Because that will guide you in this physical world. Navigating people, places, things, and manifesting what you want in this physical world. Take risk. Right? Take risk in knowledge, right? Take risk in having these conversations. Take risk in stepping out of your comfort zone. Take risk in going out there, meeting people that you typically wouldn't meet. Be safe. Do things you typically wouldn't do with the people that you love. Do things that you typically wouldn't do with your friends, with your partner. Create different types of experiences, enriching experiences. Sometimes you need to take risks and do things that are different outside of the typical mundane, because then you'll learn something new about these people in your life. You'll see how they respond to different situations. If you're in a relationship with someone, sometimes you need to be in different types of environments to see who they really are at their core before you decide to truly dedicate yourself to them or commit to a life with them. For some reason, I just got that message of like, slow down, back up, step back just a bit, really take a look, see what's going on, really see who you're dealing with, right? Maybe you took the risk, but now it's like, okay, let me slow down a bit and see what's really going on here. Right? People will tell you who they are, but you got to be open to it. This goes back to this, like, you got to be that student. You got to be in the position to really learn about this person and put aside the preconceived notions you have about these people. Let them show you their true colors, okay? And build your relationship with them off of that. So, if you enjoyed this reading, if you were blessed by it, if any of it resonated with you, please share a comment down below on the video. It helps other people to engage with the video and take a chance on watching it. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, if you want a more specific, personalized reading just for you, feel free to send me a direct message on Instagram. It's Nova's Insights. And or you can come visit the website and book a reading through there. The website is www.novasinsights.com. Peace and blessings. Pile 3. How to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Okay. Ooh, slave. In reverse. So let's check out this shadow attribute. Giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear or making your own choices. Light attribute, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Ooh, can we read that again? In case y'all don't see this. I love that. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Take a breath and breathe that in. Okay? All right. So, with it being in reverse, being a slave to others, giving your willpower over to external authority out of a fear of making choices for yourself. You have the internal guidance that you need to make choices for yourself on your own. Trust yourself, right? Trust the experiences that you've gone through that has given you knowledge and or wisdom. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is here to guide and protect you. I say your intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The louder it gets, the better you can feel it, hear it, sense it. And it's never going to lead you astray. Okay? If you've never heard the saying, it says the owner's tools will never dismantle the owner's house. I know I butchered that, but it's something along those lines. Something along those lines. I will find it and I will post it for you. Nonetheless, we're looking at our intuition as the tools and our body, ourself, as the house. Our tools are not going to destroy us, okay? It's not going to destroy the self. The intuition is here to help us along and guide us, all right? So know that you have power and trust that power that you have. Have confidence in yourself to make decisions that you need to make for yourself. You don't have to be a slave to certain things in your life, okay? Step up for yourself. Speak authentically. Sing your song. Let people know what you want to do. What's coming to me is This might be related to work that you do. You know, you might feel like you're a slave to your job, or that this is the only thing you can do. But sometimes you just need to let other people know what your interests are, where they lie, so they can help you navigate getting to where you want to go. Because they might know somebody that has a job specifically for you, is waiting just for you. But the universe is waiting for you to open your mouth and say, this is what I want to do, and for you to sing that song to other people. You have to know that you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be whole and to feel that, right? But if you're a slave to the idea that these things are not for you, or you're not capable of achieving these things or having these things in your life, then you won't. Or if you feel like people have to keep making decisions for you, and you're not good enough or smart enough or in tune enough to make these decisions for yourself, then you're going to end up in these unfortunate situations, okay? So let's move beyond that. All right, evolution. Look, evolution moved beyond, okay? So the trigger statement, things will never change. The true statement, I attract only what is for my highest good. Hello? Just talking about that, okay? It says the imbalances and relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. Okay? These imbalances and relationships. Don't be a slave to these imbalances. Don't be a slave to these relationships that aren't serving you, that are not helping you to elevate, that are not building you, that are not helping you to ascend. Even if you're not physically out of a certain situation, allow your mind to rise above it, because your mind has to first rise above it for you to come out of it physically, typically. Okay? Your spirit knows what it really truly wants. What it really wants the body and mind, the emotions to be able to feel and sense that it's free. Allow your spirit to guide you to that place. Plant that seed in your mind and then allow it to physically manifest. Okay? Temperance and reverse. So yeah, find ways to calm your mind. Okay? Here, just to backtrack here, it says melaleuca. I believe melaleuca is a type of like a scent or herb. Maybe that's something that can help calm your mind. I don't really know anything about melaleuca, but I know that this is the aromatherapy deck, right? So look that up. See if that's something that can help you. I know things like lavender, chamomile are really helpful in the forms of like essential oils and teas to help calm people. So I invite you to really take some time to calm and still your mind, to begin to try to feel your way out of these certain situations that you're enslaved by. Okay? Trust and know you can rise above it. You can move beyond it. But oftentimes we can't find solutions, or we can't hear solutions or sense solutions or feel solutions when our minds are chaotic. Okay? We need to calm ourselves and still ourselves in order to receive the information that we need to receive a lot of times. All right? So find that balance within. Find that stillness, that calm. It's there. All right, lastly, play. Okay. So if things have been weighing you down, bogging you down, try to find some ways to lighten your load. Lift your spirit. Have a little play. Maybe sometimes you're a little too focused. Maybe you're a slave to your work and you don't have time just to release and breathe and smell the flowers, or go to the river or go to the beach, and just take life in. Or maybe you're missing your children's lives, they're growing up right in front of your eyes and you're missing special things. You're missing special occasions because you're busy working, or you're buried in social media, or you're buried in your phone and you're just missing out on life. Take some time to be with your loved ones. Take some time to be with yourself, right? Find those things again that bring joy to your life. Find those things that make you feel happy and light. Find those things that you enjoy that make you feel a sense of play. Okay? Not only will it benefit you, but it will benefit those who are around you. Now, how to strengthen relationships with others. Prince, light attribute, romantic charm, and potential for power. Okay. Shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Okay, we don't want that. So, the light attribute, romantic charm, and potential for power. So, if you're a charming person or you don't realize it, know that there's something about you that is very attractive to people. Or there's a way that you use your words. There's a certain aura about you. There's a certain demeanor that people are drawn to. Okay? It's attractive. It's alluring. It's charming. Maybe you have a way with words. Use that in your favor. Don't use it in a way where you misuse it or abuse it to take advantage of people, right? But utilize that power for the good of others, right? Use your skills and talents in service of other people, okay? And a prince is royal, right? Know that you're royal. Know that there's a certain air about you, right? Know that you're worthy. Know that you're graceful. Trust that. And know that you're unique. There's something special about you in the way that you give to others, in the way that you influence others, okay? Have that sense of dignity about yourself in your relationships with others, not where you let ego get in the way, but know that you're special, okay? So here we have unity. It says, I am unstable. That's the trigger statement. And the true statement is, I am aware. So it says here, you are strengthening the connection between your energetic and physical bodies to help you manifest your goals. All right. So here, in strengthening your relationship with others, I think that you have to take time to center yourself. Again, right? Have that balance, that temperance, that moderation, knowing that you need to pour in yourself. You can't be at the ends of these two extremes, right? Like, try to find that place in the middle, because the more centered you are, the more centered you can be in your relationships with other people, your interactions with other people, okay? Be aware of how you're showing up in spaces. Be aware of how your energy is affecting other people. Be aware of how other people's energies are affecting you as well, okay? Feel what's going on in your body when you step into a place. Feel what's going on in your body when somebody says something to you, when a certain person comes around you. Have that connection. Trust the wisdom of your body and what you're sensing to know what your next move should be. Allow that to guide you. Allow that to guide your interactions with people. Okay, trust that. Here we have the Five of Cups and reversed. So know that you can find joy and happiness in interacting with other people. You have to first know that. You have to believe it, even if you don't know it, right? You got to start somewhere. It's got to be this mental thing to know that you can have happiness in your relationships with other people. And this can be simple friendship, platonic friendship. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. You know, a lot of times when we see the cups, we think about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is. But we're just looking at how we strengthen our relationships with others in general. And know that there can be happiness. Do your part in bringing that happiness. You know, you do that part to maintain happiness in your own life. And when you do that, you can pour happiness into other people's lives, where you can bring happiness to the equation of the relationship that you have with other people, right? And lastly, share wisdom. That's a beautiful card. So, in your relationships with other people, share the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, right? They say wisdom is the application of knowledge. So share with them the life experiences that you've had where you've gained knowledge and then you've applied it. And you could be a living testimony to others. You can inspire others. You can help motivate others and say, hey, yeah, I've been through that. I know. And or I didn't go through that because I learned from other people's situations, which is wise too, right? You don't have to touch the stove to know that it's hot. You don't have to touch the stove to know that you can be burned by it. Okay? You hear me? All right. So this is the reading for you, pile number 3. If you enjoyed this reading or any of it resonated with you, please share the comment below. Let us know. We would love to hear it, and it helps other people, connect and relate. So if you would like a personal reading, please feel free to message me on Instagram. It's Nova's Insights, and or you can book a reading through my website, www.novasinsights.com. I would love to read with you. I look forward to hearing from you. Peace and blessings. Last but not least, pile number 4. So how to strengthen relationship with self. Okay. So first we have victim here in reverse. So the shadow attribute. Playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity. Inability to maintain personal boundaries. Okay. Light attribute. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. I love that. So this shadow attribute, again, with this being in reverse, playing the victim to get feedback in the form of pity. So one, just based off of that, please don't play on the sympathy and empathy of others. Don't abuse their empathy and sympathy. Don't abuse their kindness. Don't abuse their love. People don't deserve that, okay? And if the tables were turned, you wouldn't want that done to you, okay? So, I call you and ask you to rise above that and any other kind of victim energy and or mentality that you have. Push beyond that. Realize that you are powerful. You can move beyond certain situations, whether that's by yourself or relying on people that are there to assist you, whether that's people in your family or friends, people in your community or organizations. Sometimes we have to reach out to organizations to ask for help, but knowing that we have the power to bring about change in our life, okay? Sometimes it takes, when people are sick and tired of being sick and tired until change happens. But the change will happen, and you must trust, know, believe that it will. But you have to make that decision to not play the victim, okay? And now this is very different from someone who is a victim that's not playing the victim. I'm not saying that if you are feeling like a victim that you're inflicting this on yourself. Not at all. I'm just saying for those of you who are playing the victim, don't let whoever is antagonizing you be the only one with the power. Realize that you have power as well, okay? All right, expansion. The trigger statement is, I am not enough. The true statement is, I love myself, okay? Your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it, okay? So yes, you can pour into yourself. You can choose to be happy. You can experience joy, but you have to open up yourself to that experience. You have to expand your thoughts, okay? You have to vibrate higher. Know that it's what you deserve and know what you can have, okay? Know that the love that you deserve is out there. It begins with you, and once you vibrate at a certain level, you will have people in your life, you will attract people in your life that vibrate at that same plane, and you will call in that love that you deserve in various forms, whether that's in your friendships, whether that's within your family, whether that's within your intimate relationship or with coworkers at work, right? Remember that first you need to be whatever you seek in other people, and or you need to give whatever it is that you're looking to receive. That's just the law of reciprocity, okay? right. Queen of Swords. So, in strengthening that relationship with yourself, I need you to be honest. Okay? I need you to be honest with yourself. You know how they say brutally honest, but I don't want you to be brutal with yourself, but I want you to be real clear and transparent. Don't lie to yourself, right? Because even when we lie to other people, we're really truly lying to ourselves. So have that tenderness, have that real conversation with yourself, extend yourself some grace, but keep it real, keep it 100, because if you can't keep it real with you, who will, right? And if you don't keep it real with yourself, how can you keep it real with other people? So that's something you first have to cultivate within yourself, right? I get the sense that you have very powerful words, and maybe that's a part of your calling and your work, that you can use your words in a way that can really shape situations, really shape people's lives. But you have to first learn to master that for yourself, okay? And to temper your words with love and kindness, because you realize the power that you wield with your words and your thoughts, okay? So use your thoughts and your words in service of yourself in a healthy way, so then you can use your words and thoughts in service to other people, but you first must begin with you. Paradox. Okay, so examine any kind of paradoxes that you are experiencing in your life. You know, sometimes they're paradoxes and sometimes things don't seem to add up, and that's okay. Sometimes we just need to stop and reflect, examine, and help things make sense, right? Sometimes we have to slow down, and sometimes we might feel like, okay, this doesn't make sense, or this is in opposition, or this is crazy. But sometimes when we slow down, we can really see the bigger picture, or we can see the finer details and say, oh, okay, I get it. All right. Do also remember, in life there are opposites, you know, yin and yang, and there's balance in that as well. So trust that as well. Sometimes you have to get comfortable in the imbalance, or what you perceive to be imbalance, because you're really actually situated in balance. You're just at one end of the spectrum. You know, but you want to challenge yourself to shift to be able to be at the middle, right? Where you can experience that harmony and peace. All right. So, wrapping up with strengthening our relationships with others. Destroyer. Okay, so we have it here in reverse. The shadow attribute. Intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. Not good. Light attributes, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. So, be mindful of how you're moving in other people's lives. Be mindful of what you're sowing into their lives, whether that's your actions and or words. Make sure they're positive, make sure they're healthy. Sometimes we don't even realize the impact that we have in other people's lives, you know. And so, again, the more we do that self-work, the more that shows in our outside life, right? I always say people can't give what they don't have. You can't get apple juice from oranges, right? Like, you just can't. You'll get hate speech from hateful people, right? You'll get loving words and affirmative words from loving people. So, be that person who already knows how to build your own self up so you can know how to build other people up, right? Because if you're out here destroying people, you're probably destroying yourself. And if you're destroying yourself, you're probably out here destroying other people, right? So just be mindful whether you are intentional or unintentional in your actions that cause destruction, okay? Next we have peaceful. Trigger statement, my life is a mess. The true statement, I find stillness within. I like that. Okay. It says your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Go within to find peace there, and your life will reflect that. That's kind of like what I was just saying here. You got to have it inside first, right? So you have to have that peace within in order to see it outside of you, right? And just remember, we're all connected. So what you experience outside of you is really based on your own vibration, based on your own perspective. Okay. And what I'm sensing here, what's coming to me is that, and I didn't mention this in the other pile, so I believe that this is the message for you. These cards also relate to the chakras, I believe. So both of these are related to the heart chakra. As you can see, they're green. So we have the expansion, we have peaceful. So for you who are listening to this message, really focus on your heart space. Focus on your heart chakra, healing that, vibrating higher in that area, attuning that, bringing balance to your heart. Okay? The Lovers. So the Lovers card, that's that energy around love, affection, partnership, the people that you have these intimate relationships with. Okay, so in strengthening your relationships with others, really focus on the relationships you have with your loved ones, how you can bring more love, how you can be more giving, how you can bring more balance to the situation. Really stopping to examine, is your partner giving more than you are? And if so, how can you kind of step up to the plate to give just as much or more? How can you serve them just the way they're serving you? Examining, are you really serving them unconditionally? Are you really loving them unconditionally? What does love look like? Maybe for some, they subscribe to the love languages, right? So they say that there's 5 different love languages. Taking the little quiz to see, if there's some miscommunication, if your partner is feeling like you don't love them the way they want to be loved, or if you feel like your partner is not loving you the way you want to be loved, take the quiz and see how people want to be loved. See how you receive love, and see if you can come to a middle ground and or compromise or make that effort to help each other to better experience love based off of who you are and how you show up and the way that you express your love. Sometimes it's not that your partner doesn't love you or you don't love your partner, it's just that you express love or they express love differently than the way you have been programmed to receive it. Okay? All right. And then last, we have shadow. All right. So just work on your shadow self, take some time to really address those things that you need to work on so they don't get in the way. They don't inhibit, you growing closer, you building relationship, you being able to have momentum behind relationships that you have with other people. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate kind of relationship, but any type of person that you come in contact with, that you interact with, you have a relationship with, right? Because you're relating to that person. So this was the reading for pile number 4. If it resonated with you in any way, please comment on the video down below. I would really appreciate it. And the community can engage with you as well. And if you would like a personalized reading, something specific to you, please send me a message on Instagram. It's Nova's Insights, and or come to the website and book through there, www.novasinsights.com. Peace and blessing.